Let's just see if we can plug this one in. Yeah, there we go. All right. Hello, guys, and good morning. If it's morning in your place of the world, it's morning here in Denmark. And if you're in another time zone, then good evening or good day to everyone out there. I can see we have someone here from Toronto. Okay, it's night in Toronto. Hello to you, and hello also to Smitty Ado. I was just wondering if this light makes a flickering right now. There's no flickering right now. No, there's not. But this episode today is called New Beginnings. And it's because, as you can tell, I'm not in the studio right now. The studio that I made a short teaser about, I don't know, a month ago, I had to cancel my studio place there because, well, long story short, there was a very passive aggressive tenant there who made another tenant stop her place at the studio. So in solidarity, I had to cancel my place. And you know what? I think it was quite good because I think that when a door closes, then new doors open. And I already found a new place actually, and I think a better place because first of all, it's very close to where I live, so that's good in terms of transportation time. Secondly, I think I'm going to be finding more inspiration at the new place because there's more inspiration to get. I think there's more like-minded people like me, and although the studio was really nice, or is really nice, the one that I left, as you can see in the video, I'm gonna miss it. But this place is really something. This new place, just let me see if I can show you a photo of it. So it's a shareable studio that I share with 3 other persons. But then there's a second studio second room just next to it, which has which they call a photo room. And there you have soft boxes, and you have a table here with different backgrounds. And of course, I'm going to be using this for YouTubing in the future. So I'm looking forward to finally getting a studio, and I think this studio is going to work. So I don't know if you drink coffee in the night. You probably don't, but if you do, then cheers, and cheers to everyone else out there, whatever time it is right now. It's a very cloudy day today, and wow, some beautiful clouds today actually. Wow. And good morning to Cambodia as well. Wow, good morning. So today, what I want to show you guys that I'm working on is actually there are many things that I could show you that I'm working on because I'm starting a lot of new things, and that fits quite good with the theme, Good Beginnings. But last week, I just want to show you one thing before I tell you about what I'm working on, because last week or 2 weeks ago, I showed you some swallows that I was working on, and I just want to show you the end result. So, um, let's see, take this one out. Here we have it. So this is a garland, and I think it really shows you what colors can do. And I'm quite happy with the combination of colors here. So this is a garland that you can hang on the wall in different ways. You can, of course, do whatever colors you want to. And yeah, so soon I'm gonna upload a video of the whole process, how I made the swallows, of course, so you can also try to make one. But new project, new beginnings. Today I'm gonna be starting doing the 100 heads challenge, which I've seen actually on YouTube, that some YouTubers have made this 100 heads challenge. And I haven't done a lot of research. Actually, I haven't done any research, but I think that the challenge is pretty basic, that you have to draw 100 heads. Yeah, I don't know if there's a time limit. I'm just gonna use as long time as I want to. So I bought a whole new sketchbook just for the purpose of drawing 100 heads, and I'm gonna try to make them more clean, if I can use that word, than I usually do. Usually I sketch a lot, and it's quite messy. But I'm gonna try and set this prompt for myself and to make them more clean. But the thing that I noticed in YouTube, let's just have another sip here. It is Monday. We have a question here. And hello to Diego also. Diego Calderon, cool name. We have a question. Is the garland made with paper? Yes, it is. Or more accurately, it's made with carton or cardboard. So yeah, some thick paper, that is. And then it's made with a sewing machine. So the swallows are just basically sewn together with the sewing machine, and that's the only thing that you kind of need to have to make it, because it would be kind of time consuming to make it in hand. But I got some help from my girlfriend there, I can tell you. But if you know someone who has a sewing machine, then it's just about reaching out and asking if you can lend it for a few minutes. It was only like 3 minutes to sew it together. It was more the cutting out of the swallows that was the time part. But it's really fun. I can recommend it. But the 100 heads challenge, I noticed on YouTube that more people talk about that. It was kind of tough to get through this challenge of drawing 100 heads, which I could imagine. Imagine people talk about, like, and at the end of the challenge, they don't want to draw any more heads at all. Like they're fed up with drawing heads. So I thought that maybe you could break this challenge into several parts. So here on my paper, I have written down different parts of this challenge, or I've kind of made it into little chunks of prompts. So I'm guessing that this is going to turn out mirror-sided for you guys, but let's just see if we can see it here. This is probably mirror-sided, is? Yeah, I think it is. But I can read aloud to you here. So these are my 10, or let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. My 8 different themes for the 100 Heads challenge. And the first theme here, my first prompt, is that I'm going to be drawing 10 heads where I'll be focusing on my illustration projects. So, for instance, I'm working on a children's book at the moment. So I think I'm gonna do 10 heads for that children's book. Mm, Next theme is 10 animal heads. So here I'm really interpreting this 100 head challenge very broadly. I'm gonna make 10 animal heads, and that is studies. I'm gonna make studies of these animal heads. Then I'll do 20 heads, like human heads, and also studies here. That's quite a lot actually, but some of them doesn't have to be so finished pieces, and some will be. Let's see. I'm gonna do 10 randomized heads using stencils. And basically what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna use these stencils that are left over from the swallows. So all these amazing shapes here. And then I'm gonna use these as stencils to draw faces actually, or heads. So they're gonna be like pretty random faces. And I think this is a fun exercise to see what can come out of that. I'll then do 10 animal heads, also for a children's book I'm working for. I'm gonna do 10 heads where I'm allowed to do it freestyle. The only thing that I have to do is I'm gonna make them in color, because working in color is one of the things I want to be better at. Seeing how color works, and I usually draw black and white, so I want to dive more into color. Then we have 20 heads urban sketching. Yeah, so 20 heads where I have to be out in the local, or in the what do you call that, in the public space, either outside or inside. I'm going to be drawing 20 heads. And the last one, 10 heads, where again I'm going to return to my illustration projects. So here I have a different project that I'm thinking about I could use that in. So dividing the 100 heads challenge into different little challenges, I think, is a good way to approach it. So we'll see how that goes. And today I'll start the challenge. So I'll be starting with the 10 heads for illustration project. And that's also always the scary thing about starting a whole new sketchbook. Like, everyone knows this. Starting a blank new sketchbook, you always have the white paper anxiety. But I think now that I have a prompt, I think it's no big deal. I know what I'm gonna draw, and I don't know yet how it's gonna turn out. But that's the good part of it, I think. So let's just have one more sip before we get started. And if you have any questions out there, feel free to fire off. Yeah, so this question, do you mean that you're going to draw literally 100 heads? Yeah, basically. It sounds like a lot, but I mean, if you do 10 one day and 10 the other day, then I think it's going to be less less difficult, or how can you say it? But again, it's a question of how much detail you put in it. I mean, if you really draw a portrait using 2 hours or something like that, then it's really a long time. But I think also the format here is going to be quite small. I'm going to maybe draw heads that are like this big instead of this big. But it's a question of temper, I guess, and time, of course. I'm just gonna flip down this one, so I hope that you can get a view here. Maybe even down here. Yeah, let's see if that's good. And I think we're gonna start off with a pencil. Okay. Hmm. I don't know if the angle is could be a bit better here. Let's just see what happens here. Maybe like this. No, then it's upside down. I think we're gonna do like this. Okay. And if you want to, of course, you can doodle along with me. If you have a piece of notebook at your side or just a piece of paper, you can just sit there and maybe draw a bit. I'm gonna try to see if I can make this more visible to you somehow. I think this is probably better. Right now, I don't have a clue what I'm doing actually. I'm just trying to draw a head. Um, and the thing that I know is that there's a character in this children's book that is going to be a doctor actually, and I'm kind of playing with the thought that he should kind of be reminiscent of a goat. Um, because I thought that would be kind of funny because he's an animal doctor. But this is just completely freestyle right now. And of course, this is my this is how I usually draw heads for children's books, or this is how I plan to make them. So the thing that I liked about drawing for children's book is that I'm allowed to kind of um, make them quirky, and I don't have to think so much about details because I think they should be quite simple. I read once that drawing faces in children's books should be simple because the more simple they are, the more they actually communicate. What kind of hair should he have on? Wow, that became really, really weird. And I don't like so much the expression on his face. Let's try and have another one. Or let's just, you know what? Let's just try and start with a circle. So let me just show you guys what I've already drew. And I don't like the expression of his face. So I'm just gonna try something else. Now just starting with the circle, and let's make him go looking up like he's surprised. So I'm just gonna make a middle circle here. The nose is then gonna be here. And the mouth is gonna be here. The eye somewhere here. This is a pretty good way of when you want to draw a head that's tilted on a perspective. You can use these lines here to guide you. So the middle line here is my guidance of where the nose is going to be, and this line up here is where the eyes is gonna be. Mm, gonna make him surprised. So he kind of looks up in surprisement or in awe. And let's just put on something, there's some different kind of hair. Mm, let's make it like curly hair. What about curly hair? And this is just my excuse of my excuse for drawing curly hair is just because I love this motion of scumbling, some call it, or like little circles. There's just something really, really magical about it. And this one became more like a child actually. And I don't think the animal doctor is going to be a child. Well, he could be, but I think I want to make him a bit more old, a bit more agey. And the way you can do this actually is by changing the proportions. So we know that there's a rule that if you want to draw someone and you want to make them look older, then you can change the proportions so that there's a more distance between the mouth and the nose and more distance between the nose and the eyes. Then he will automatically look older. So I'm gonna flip the page here. So that was already 2 heads out of 10 heads. And of course you could argue that I should work more on them. And I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do more work on some of them, on some rather than others. But I'm gonna flip a page. Mm. Then I'm gonna start again with the circle. I'm gonna put on another circle down here. So before I had only one circle, and putting on that extra circle is gonna make the face longer. So already there I made the face older, you could say. And then we're gonna have the nose coming down like this. Maybe a long pointy nose like this. Little nostril. And the chin. And then it's possible that he has, maybe he has a funny beard growing here. And going out here as well. So these are the first lines here. You have the nose here, the chin, and the funny beard. Maybe kind of a goat beard. And we have the ear going here. And I think that we're gonna place the eyes all the way out here actually. It's so fun how it just changes a character completely when you move the eyes or the nose just like a few millimeters or a centimeter, then the whole expression of your character, it just changes. Um, so we have him going up here. Maybe has a bit of hair showing here, and let's just see. Just this little mouth there. I think it's rather fun to play with him like this, making him a bit of a goat, kind of with the beard, and just the notion of drawing these curvy lines here on the beard is a very soothing way to start off the Monday. Um, and also up here, he could have a bit of, like so. And maybe you can see them on the other side. Okay. And I think that he could use a hat also. Let's put on a hat on him. And the way I want to put on this hat is that I want to draw, just like I drew a circle before for the head shape. What you can do when drawing a hat is that you can make an ellipsis that curves around the head shape, the head circle. So this way you make sure that the hat really looks like it's well seated upon his head, like you have the feeling of solidness. And once you have that ellipsis, you can turn it into you can add these twists and bends to it. Let's just see. I gotta be careful now when I'm drawing it like this. We're gonna have it more like this, adding a few slopes to it up here. And then I want to make the cylinder of the hat. And again, just at the place where his head is kind of popping up. This is where we're gonna have the hat, like so. And we could use maybe a few eyebrows here, just to give some more expression to it. Eyebrows does a lot actually when you draw heads. They really do. And of course, let's just give him a neck. And he's an animal doctor. How does an animal doctor's jacket look like? I'm curious to know. Maybe this animal doctor is just like a classical, that kind of, I like to draw this kind of shape. I think we're just gonna go with that. And what else could we do? I think that we could ink this fella now. So now I kind of have a sketch, and I want to ink this guy up. So I want to use a fine liner to ink him up. But first, I'm just going to remove a bit of the pencil stroke so that it doesn't shine through. So I'm just gonna, if you've seen many of my draw along videos, then I'm sure that you know this trick of lifting off pencil stroke. So it feels weird to erase what you've just been drawing, but I'm not erasing all of it. I'm just kind of letting the sketch show through, and this way I can easily see what I've been drawing and fine line over my sketch like so. So it's very light now, the sketch, and perfect to ink over. Let's just see how it goes. I'm gonna start off here. Then we have the beard coming in here. Goat beard. This. And hello to everybody who's coming in here and saying hello. Hello. We got Pilfer Pop's character design in here. Thanks a lot. And Vino, hello to you also. Yeah. And Study Tales, hello to you also. And also to you, I cannot pronounce that account name because it's in a language that I don't know actually. But I can tell you have Jerry as an avatar. I love that. Um, and I hope that you all are having a great start of your Monday, whether it's night or it's morning or it's evening. Let's just dive into the week with the thought of new beginnings, because a Monday is a new beginning of a new week. And let's embrace it and just welcome all its opportunities. And if a door closes, then you know that new doors are going to open. If you just reach out and are aware of the doors, then they're going to open to you. And maybe this character is looking at a door that's just been opened to him. This character kind of, the style here, it reminds me of something that I've seen before actually. Maybe it's just that cartoonish look that I kind of hit. And just look at that, how the ear just pops out. I like this. And then we have the hat, and I want to make it slightly more. Actually, I could find a picture online and find out how the hat kind of twists, but let's just go with the good old imagination. I'm gonna go and tilt it a bit more, like this. So that he goes around like that and around like that. became a weird hat. I think I need to practice drawing hats. Bit of shade in here, and it's just make a small band here around the hat, and we need to finish the hair here. And then I think I'm gonna add, he could use maybe some green color. Let's put on some green color. I have these amazing color pens here, which you can color pencil, but then you can apply water to them, and they work like watercolors. And the way that you can tell that they work like watercolors is that you have this small brush icon here. Then you know that it's a watercolor pencil. So I'm gonna give him some color on the hat. Like this, and also on his suit. And we have a comment here from Amex Jam, very loyal viewer of my channel. I'm so happy about that, to stay connected with you guys and keeping in touch. I think this is awesome. This is a part of YouTubing that I never thought would happen, or like I didn't take it into consideration, but I'm so happy to interact with you guys. And we have a question, and it's from California. It's still Sunday here, or Sunday to you, so it's Monday for you tomorrow, I guess. And who's the character you're drawing? It's it's because I've started this 100 heads challenge, and I've divided this challenge into 8 chunks. So my first chunk is to draw 10 heads for illustration projects. So this is for a children's book actually that I'm working on, and I'm trying to draw or figure out how the character should look like, the main character, and he's an animal doctor. And I thought it would be kind of funny to play around with giving him a kind of a goatish look. So that's why his face is that elongated and the beard. And now I'm gonna take this amazing pen here, which is a brush, and then you have this kind of water container attached to it. So once I press this, water will come out to the brush, and then I can use it as a water brush here. And I have this usually on the go with me when I have my sketchbook with me, because it's really good to use with watercolors. So if you want to do a small study outside, or just also inside, if you're sitting in a cafe and you want to use some colors, you can use this brush. It's amazing. Put it on here. I think these watercolor pencils are quite good because it allows some texture to show through, like the strokes that you used actually shine through once you put on the water here. So there we go. Have a look at this. And then I'm gonna use the, I think, very, very cheap trick, but also an amazing trick. It really helps lift your illustration. I'm gonna use, like, in terms of children's book, this is a very common thing to do. Just adding some red cheeks. It just gives, I don't know why, but it just gives really, really nice touch. Just don't allow to get off the green here. There we go. And just a bit of red here. It adds some light, it gives some life to the drawing. And what about some shade maybe? I could add a bit of shade actually. The question is, what kind of color should I use? Maybe blue. We'll try with some blue. And you know what? This is where I'm going into experimentation mode because I haven't tried this before. I'm just kind of hopefully inspiring you to also experiment and see where could this might maybe take me. So I'm putting a bit of shade just here and there. And keeping in mind that once I put shade on the left side, I should do that also on the rest of his face, like on the left side on the nose, on the left side on the ear, or into the crease, so that we have the sense that the shade falls down here. Because if I start putting shade on his, let's say just for instance here, then I'm gonna ruin the three-dimensionality. So maybe also I could put a bit of shade on the left side of his face here. And you know what? Beneath this hat. So we get a sense that it's shading here. And we take the pencil or the brush and just roughen it out. This is not too bad actually. Not too bad. Maybe also a bit on the beard. Again, on the left side, or when it curves down, like when it goes away from us. And on the left side, let's see, left side and left side. So so these two sketches I spent 2 minutes doing. And this one I spent, I don't know, maybe more like 20 minutes or so, or maybe even more. So I like that the fact that you can do this challenge and do it in a variety of time rounds, or how do you say it? I don't know how you say it. I need more coffee. But yeah, the flexibility, and I think this method of dividing the challenge into more chunks is gonna help me. It's gonna help me pull through this challenge. So once again, 10 heads illustration. I've already made 3 now, if you count a sketch, and I'm gonna count the sketches. Then 10 animal heads, 20 head studies, 10 randomized heads, 10 animal heads for a children's book, then 10 heads in freestyle, 20 heads in urban sketching. I'm gonna go urban sketching very soon actually. And then 10 heads again in illustration. So now I've started, and I think I'm very happy with the result actually. I think there's something to continue working on. And I just want to say thanks for watching. And stay tuned. This week I'm going to be uploading a video where I'll show you guys how I work in my home, how my home studio is arranged. So I'll be talking about what kind of materials I'm working with, and I'm gonna show you guys my mood board and some of the drawings and some of the inspiration I keep in my drawers. Basically, all my materials. I think this is going to be interesting for you to watch. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I wish you all a great Monday.